Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can overlay canvas or draw on live camera video recording with the help of a canvas in Expo React Native for Android using CameraX and Media 3 effects. So let's get started. So first you need to do some setup. So for that to create an Expo React Native project you need to go to this particular URL over here, and it's up to you what template you want to use. I am using this blank TypeScript template. So for that you need to run this particular command. I have already ran this command and created an Expo React Native project, as you can see over here. Okay, I'll just minimize everything. Then I am writing native code to achieve this particular functionality, as there is no third-party library available for achieving this. So to do some native setup you will have to go to this particular URL over here, because you need to install Android Studio as well. So you can first select just Android device, then here you can select development build. Then I have disabled EAS. You can select your own operating system. I have already installed Watchman. I have already installed Kazulu. I have already set the Java home path as well. I have already installed Android Studio and set up all the tools required inside it. Then I have already done this as well as this part. Then you need to cd to your Expo React Native project inside your terminal and then run this particular command. Once you do that you need to run this particular command as well. So this will install the Android folder for you, and it will also ask you, do you want to run it on a real device? You don't or your emulator. You don't want to run it now because we will be writing some native code, so you will have to run it again at the very end. So don't run it now. So here once you run this command you should see this Android folder being created. Once that is done you need to create an Expo module as well to write native code. So for that you need to go to this particular URL over here. So I'll just open that particular URL, and inside this first you need to run this command. So this will ask you some questions like what should be the module name and everything. You just have to press enter. If you want to change it you can change it. I have not changed anything. I have just pressed enter. Once that is done we can just close our cheat sheet. Then you need to go to the modules. You need to go to src, go to my module.type.ts, and here you can see I have made few changes. So firstly we don't require any props, so I have commented this line of code. Also instead of this onload event I have taken it as on video taken. Now there is one big problem. So once the video once we display the live camera video recording, right, I have the start and stop button. So once I click on the start button it records the video. Once I click on stop button it stops the video capturing. Now I was trying to play that particular video using React Native video player as well as Expo video, but unfortunately it's not working out for me. But I'm still sending the path of the captured video back to React Native side. If you are able to figure out that particular issue, do let me know in the comments. But the video is stored to external storage, so the user can access that video even like going outside our app, even without our app, like by going to the files app. I'll show you guys the output at the very end. I'm facing some issues installing the application on my device, that's why I didn't show you guys at the very start, but at the very end I will show you guys the output. So that's why we have taken this on video taken event. Okay, and this URL is different from this particular URL. This URL is for prop and this URL is for sending the return type. Then you need to go to the Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you need to add. So by default this write external storage is present when we create an Expo React Native project. If it is not, make sure you add that permission as well, because they might change it in future. And here we have this Android hardware camera permission, then the camera permission as well as record audio permission. Then just close this, go to the main Android folder, go to build.gradle over here, and inside this dependencies block you will have to add this camera core, camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, camera video, app compat as well as camera effect dependency. Then go to src, go to Java and go to my module.kt. Then here I have refactored few things, so I have commented this part out because we are not using any dependencies as such. And then here I have commented this part out as well, and instead of this onload event we have this on video taken event. Then go to my module view.kt. So by default inside this particular file you will see some code related to web view. You can just delete that code, we won't be requiring it. So firstly these are all the imports. I'll simply scroll through these imports. Feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports which are there. Then we extend from Expo view. Here is our event dispatcher for sending data from native Android side to React Native side. Here we get hold of our activity. Then we initialize our frame layout. Here is our camera. This is the camera preview view. Then here is our video capture, there is our recording. Then this is the middle box effect, which I will show you at the very end in the demo. So we are displaying a square at the center of the screen, so that's why we are using this, and this is for painting that particular square. Here is our capture button, this is the camera preview view, here is our camera executor service, here is our process camera provider as well. Then here is our back facing lens. Then here we set the layout params for our frame layout, and we add the frame layout to our parent view. Then here we set the layout params to our viewfinder as well, and here we do install hierarchy fitter by passing the viewfinder. Then we add the viewfinder to our frame layout. Then we set the text background color, text color as well as alpha for our capture button. Then we set the layout params to our capture button as well, and we add our capture button to our frame layout. Then we add a click listener for our button, for which we add this capture video. Then we override on attached to window, and if we have the camera permission, then we just do viewfinder dot post call setup camera, and on detach from window we shut down our camera executor as well as unbind our camera provider. Then here we have this method, which is basically a hack. Why we need to use this hack? Because if you don't use this, you will just see a black screen, you will not see your live camera preview. If you want to learn more about this issue, you can go to this particular URL. This issue has been open in the React Native's repo since past 8 years. They have still not fixed it. Then here we have setup camera, where we get hold of our camera provider feature. We add a listener to it as well. Here we get our camera provider, then we bind our camera use case. Then here we get hold of our video capture. Then we get hold of our recording, and if it is not equal to null, we stop our recording, make it as null. Here is the naming for convention for our recording. Then we use content values to save that particular file as well by passing the display name mime type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we have this media store output options as well where we pass the content resolver as well as external content URI. Then here we initialize our recording as well, and here we start our recording, and if the event is start recording, then we just change the text of our button as well as is unable to true. And once it has been finalized, video has been recorded, we send the URI of the recorded video back to React Native side. But like I said, I'm not able to play the video, I don't know why, but the video plays fine from external storage. Then here we close our recording, we make it as null. Then we just do capture button dot apply, text equal to start, is unable equal to true. This is just a helper method for checking whether we have the camera permissions or not. And here we have a method called bind camera use case, where we get the camera rotation. Here we initialize our camera provider, then we initialize our camera selector. Here is our aspect ratio strategy, here is our resolution selector. Then we initialize our preview view, then we initialize our recorder, then we initialize our video capture as well. Then here we have this middle box effect dot set on draw listener. So with the help of this, we draw on our live camera video recording. So here we get the width as well as the height. Then here we calculate the center of the frame. Here is the size of our rectangle or square, whatever you want to call it. Then here we draw the rectangle with the help of frame.overlay canvas. Then here we add the use case group builder.add. So I think I have forgot one thing, so I think we need to do this particular thing as well. Sorry about this. So add use case, something like this. Then we unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the life cycle, and then we set it to the camera object, and finally we set our surface provider. Then you need to go to this app.tsx, and here these are all the imports. As you can see, here we first set the state for video URL, but like I said, this isn't really working, so that's why I'm not really using it. I've tried using it, but it is not working. This is the camera permission, and here I'm checking whether the user is using Android 10 or above, because below Android 10 we also require the right external storage permission. So this is just for getting all the required permissions depending on the Android version, just checking whether all permissions has been granted, and depending on Android version, if the permissions has been granted appropriately, then only I'm setting the state as true. And inside use effect, I'm calling this particular method. And here you can see once the camera permission has been granted, we display this my module view, which will display the live camera recording along with the overlay canvas. Else we'd just display a text. Now this is the code which I was using for playing the video recording as well, but unfortunately it's not working for me. but if you know how to make it work, do let me know in the comments. And these are all the styles for it as well. So yeah, that's it. Now let's see the output. There is one mistake which I did. It was, instead of add use case over here, you need to add this as you need to use it as add effect. So make sure you make this particular change as well, otherwise you will get an error. Okay guys, so here is the output. I'll just give the camera permission first, then I will give the record audio permission first. Then here you can see we have this square, green color square at the center of the screen. I'll just click on the start button. I'll just move my camera a bit, and after that I'll just click on the stop button, and it has recorded the video. Now I can just go to my files app, and here you can see inside the videos section I am able to see the video. So hopefully you got the point. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.